All right, so I'm gonna lift this wiper. We're gonna prep for the outside windshield. This ran through the mud and was hauled on a trailer, so it's pretty dirty. We're just gonna wet this with our soapy water or glass cleaner, and we're really gonna clean everything around here. Really wanna wipe down and get all the dirt, debris off. So let's make this clean. Come over to the other side of the machine and do the same. This customer opted for a 70% ceramic, so we are doing that. He didn't want it to be too dark as he utilizes the machine at night, but he wanted the heat rejection. So now that the machine outside glass is all clean, I'll show you the next step here shortly. Okay, so we got the outside of the windshield prepped. We're gonna spray our soapy water solution on the outside of the windshield, and then we're gonna take our film and set it on the outside. So let's do that. So again, this will be a little easier for me because I have the keg, but we're just gonna get a good layer of soapy water on there. And then we're just gonna carry our film and set it on the outside of the windshield. Doesn't need to be exactly placed. We're just using this as a peel board. So now that it's semi-placed, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find our pink squeegee. From the installation kit there. And then we're just gonna tack this to the glass. And this is gonna allow us to peel up and do another reverse roll to do our install on the inside of the windshield. So again, it's very crucial that the outside of the windshield is clean before you do this. Otherwise, you're gonna rinse some of that contamination in. I'm just gonna wet the outside of the liner, eliminating a little bit of static electricity. I'm gonna go about halfway, and I'm just gonna wet the film, not trying to get any of the water from the windshield into the area. So I'm not trying to soak this, I'm just trying to put a thin layer. And we'll put our liner back on just like that. We'll go to the other side. We'll do the same thing. Again, I'm gonna mist it, eliminate a little bit of static electricity. I'm gonna start at the top, and I'm just gonna mist soapy water between the two layers, the liner and the film. So now what I'm gonna do is a reverse roll. And I'm gonna start from the passenger side because I wanna unroll onto the driver's. So this is gonna look like is you're literally just gonna pick this edge up, liner and film both, and then you're just gonna roll it in on itself. And you're just gonna create a nice little roll. You're gonna go all the way across the windshield. You can pick it like this, and then you can just walk it. I'm being really gentle on my fingertips, and I'm just rolling this up. And now when I get this completely rolled, again, this is gonna be very similar to your back window. So we are going to have the liner, and then as I plop, that's the film side. So liner, film side. So then when you install it, you're actually gonna go, there's just a defrost tab, but this will be your thing. You plop this to the glass, and now your liner is actually over here. So we're gonna set this in a safe spot while we prep the glass for our install. I wanna make sure the liner is actually protecting the film and no dirt can get in there. And I'll show you how to prep the inside. All right, so, I'm in the machine now. I'm on the passenger side. You're filming from the driver's side area. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this blue scrubby again. Not a must, just makes life easier. We're gonna have to remove that warning sticker. So we're gonna take a single edge razor blade. We don't want to tint over the top of that warning sticker. I did put a dash towel down. As you can see, I want to cover the electronics, the radio. This one has the Polaris navigation in it. I don't really want to ruin that. I don't think the customer would be very happy if I got that a little wet and wrecked it. Just want to be precautious. Again, take your wife's beach towel and just throw it over the top of this dash so that way you don't get anything wrecked. A beach towel is a little cheaper to replace than that screen, I'm sure. So once we get this off of here, just want to make sure we get all the glue. We're going to take our blue non-scratch pad and we're just going to scrubby down the whole inside of the windshield. You can see that little bit of soapy water. And then what we're going to do, unfortunately, is we have to razor blade this whole window. So I'm just going to lay a thin layer on here. And you want to just razor blade every inch of this. So we're just going to razor blade all of this. This is a 2025 machine, so this is very new. I'm not hearing the grit like I've heard on some of the heavily used machines. So again, I'm not going to razor blade this 2 times because it is a new machine. But now what we're going to do is we're going to wet this again. I'm going to use our pink installation tool. And I'm going to squeegee it all off just like we have on all these other windows. So I'm going to cover the dash here, wipe off our pink installation tool, and we're just going to follow top to bottom, letting gravity kind of gently pull that dirt down. I'm even going to kind of angle this at a way where it starts to create a rinsing effect and the water just starts to run down. We want to grab behind the edge of the windshield to ensure that there's no dirt back there that we're going to introduce into our workspace. So we're just going to squeegee all of this down. Boom. So for you guys watching this, you probably bought a kit from us and you're going to install it on your machine. I appreciate your business. I'm Travis, I'm the owner. We started selling these kits about 4 years ago. I really appreciate all your guys' business. I really appreciate the opportunity to get to teach you guys how to do this and not have a shop get to make a bunch of money off of you guys installing these machines. I've heard shops getting $700, $800, $1,000 to install these. So I appreciate the fact that you guys are do-it-yourselfers and want to do this yourself. So now we're prepped. We're just gonna wet the windshield. Boom. I didn't wet too much towards the top because I don't want to rinse dirt. So again, we're gonna peel the liner side to this finger, and now this is the film side. And I'm just gonna stick this on the glass, making sure it doesn't touch anything else. And now the liner is facing towards me. It's actually right here. So I'm just gonna keep walking this. It's a little tricky right here, but you just gotta get around this by just doing that. And then you have the handle for the pop out. The film cuts perfectly around that. So we're just gonna unroll this. We're gonna keep unrolling. We're gonna throw the liner on the ground because we really don't care about it. The film's more important. And we're just gonna position this. And it cuts around all the tabs for the shocks or the struts for the window open. And now because of our soapy water, we can position this film any which way we want. So we want to check to make sure there's not gaps on this side. And with the lighter films, it's really easy to have a gap. So you really want to make sure, because there's not a contrast there, you really want to make sure that you're actually covering. Take your time during this step and make sure that you don't have a light gap, because if you squeegee it all down and you find out you have a light gap, it might result in a redo. So I'm gonna take my squeegee, I'm gonna start center outwards. I'm just gonna push that out, and then I'm just gonna go above it and push out. And I'm just gonna keep working all of this film. I'm gonna just work out towards the edges. Boom. Now this would be a little easier with a partner, but as you can see, we just did it ourselves. And then we're gonna work all this down. So we're just gonna squeegee all of this down. Boom. You may need a heat gun on these guys, depends on your temperature of your area. You may need a heat gun to push out a couple fingers and get the film to lay down flat. You can leave them sit outside for a little bit and then push them down with your squeegee. Again, you're gonna wanna go over this. You're gonna wanna mist the film and squeegee over this a second time, but that's your install on your windshield. The banner install is also very easy. I'm not gonna do a banner to this machine, but basically the banner would run across here. Again, clean the film, razor blade the glass if it's just a banner, and then wet it and then install it. Those are pretty simple to do. I suggest measuring it on the outside, hooking it to the top of the windshield and measuring how far it goes down. You don't want your banner to be 7 inches on that side and 5 on this side. So make sure that's straight. This is a video on how to tint an Xpedition. We appreciate it. I'll show you a clip of what it looks like completely tinted. Thank you for your purchase through UTV Window Tint. If you have any questions, my name's Travis. Give me a call, 920-375-1333. Thanks.